Today our guest was Sinanan. Nick, may I ask you, how was the preparation for you for this interview?
Gregor asked me before my trip to New York to take a look on your new approach, and I was fascinated from beforehand. And so of course, what I found out from your program, it was all about the story behind a project or your status of expertise. And for me, it was very challenging to really decide if I share one of my deepest and most painful moments of my life, which I used to give back to a larger community, larger than I am. So back from my ego, so that was...
You shared this story, I just heard it, and it was very touching and is very touching for me. May I ask you, how did you deal with the whole situation back then, 20 years ago? How was the situation, and what is your connection to now when you're sitting here for this interview?
For me, if I would label it as a scientist, so I'm a sports scientist, I guess it was a mean of my own development. So back then in '96, I prepared for the Olympic Games in Atlanta, and I got injured and I skipped the games. I was there as a spectator, which was painful as well. So and we founded a group in preparation for the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. And we trained hard because our focus was, okay, a 4-year period to reach our goal to participate at the Olympics. And we more or less found ourselves in a setting like a family. So we shared our fears, our goals, our dreams, everything. And so we've been on the same page. And for us as young talents, it was very traumatic to see a friend of ours. So we went to a trip to Bali at a wonderful beach. And so we sat down there and we just played in the ocean to figure out, okay, who could hold their breath the longest. And so as we were well trained, so we were able to really hold it for 4 minutes without even thinking about it. And so we just wondered because our friend didn't appear anymore. And so we got nervous, so we tried to find her. We called the police, couldn't find her, spent the whole night on the beach. And so we found a letter in her bag telling the world and us that she was going to leave this planet. And so she shared this moment with us as her family instead of her parents, for example. And so for me, this was the #1 moment and the kickstart of what I did afterwards with my athletes, because as I said, I changed sides from the athletic side, from my own, and I transferred it to work with elite athletes in preparation for the Olympics to give back my knowledge. And I focused on the brain, on mental training. And I had the honor to really start from very early age as a teenager, get into this mental training concept. And so I found means, and I was very happy to be able to help athletes to reach their peak performance on game day. And not like, okay, you reach your peak performance, but nobody's around. And so for me, which I just recently found what was this traumatic event at Bali, to what I'm doing right now, it's this string where I'm able to push somebody to the edge, but only if we start on the same page, that I have an idea if something goes wrong. And so that was my deepest pain. And
does this mean you got a feeling out from this situation to look behind the mask? Because if you want to be a champion, you often wear a mask, and if you are just have the definition with the mask, it can get very wrong, as we know from history. So you help the people to look behind the mask, and see if they are still feeling okay behind the mask. Okay.
That's right. Because for performance, you need this mask.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get so much, as we talked to Gregor, if you're in a setting at the FIFA World Cup, you need this mask because otherwise there's too much influence on you, too much triggers, so you need this focus. Either way, with music, glasses, shades, relaxation, meditation, you need this setting to really feel like at home when you're away. And but while working to reach this goal, you need to really start from scratch.
I see. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you. And
Thank you
if you are now like having the feeling to share your story, maybe even a traumatic experience when you learn something out of this experience, if you want to share this, then please go to our website, storyexperience.com, and we are very happy to get in touch with you. We also ask you to go to the YouTube and to Facebook, and we are happy about your likes. And as you see right now, it's about releasing the mask and see who is behind. So if you're ready for it, just give us a call or give us your email, send us a message, and we are happy to be in touch with you and stay tuned.